In December 2024, the United Kingdom has reached a significant milestone in its post-Brexit trade strategy by becoming the first European nation to join the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP). This move marks the United Kingdom's most substantial trade agreement since leaving the European Union and signifies a shift in its trade policy towards the Indo-Pacific region. With the far-reaching implications for the global trade, economic growth, and the geopolitical dynamics, the United Kingdom's accession to the major trade bloc is a development worth exploring. When we talk about India, this particular development provides an opportunity to us to analyze and potentially recalibrate its stance on the mega regional trade agreements such as CPTPP, which we have already discussed, and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (RCEP). In today's discussion, we will analyze the same. Hello everyone, I am Vishal Salsekar, Faculty of International Relations at VisionIAS, and today we will discuss this topic in detail. Here we will discuss about what is CPTPP, what are the advantages of United Kingdom's joining CPTPP, the lessons for India regarding the mega regional trade agreements, including the benefits associated with it, the concerns, and also the way ahead in this regard. So let's discuss this in a step-by-step manner. First, let's talk about CPTPP. The CPTPP is a comprehensive free trade agreement that was established in 2018 among the 11 countries, which includes the countries like Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, and Vietnam. Together, these nations account for approximately 13% of the global economy and provide access to a market of over 500 million people. The agreement aims to reduce the trade barriers, enhances economic integration, and promote the trade liberalization across Asia and Pacific region. By eliminating or reducing the tariff on goods, streamlining regulations, and offering more flexible rules of origin, the CPTPP has become a cornerstone of the trade in the region. As during our discussion, we will put the reference of RCEP as well, so let's also discuss briefly about RCEP. The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (RCEP) is a free trade agreement between 15 Asia-Pacific countries that aims to cover the trade in goods, services, intellectual property, etc. It includes the countries like China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and the 10 ASEAN member states including Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. Now talking about the UK's recent accession to CPTPP, it highlights its post-Brexit strategy to diversify its trade relationships and reduce dependency on the European markets. It officially joined the bloc in December 2024 after 3 years of the negotiations. Regarding its benefits for the UK by joining this bloc, it includes the preferential access to the CPTPP markets, eliminating the tariffs on over 95% of the traded goods, and the flexible rules of origin, benefiting the industries such as the automotive manufacturing. Although the economic impact on the UK's GDP is projected to be modest, which is roughly 0.08% increase over a decade, the strategic and the sectoral benefits hold the long-term promise. Also, geopolitically, the membership strengthens the UK's foothold in the Indo-Pacific region. If you had observed that here we had used the term the rules of origin. To clarify this particular term briefly, the rules of origin are the laws and the regulation that determines the country of origin for the imported products. They are basically used to determine a product's economic nationality and are important because the duties and restriction on the imports are often dependent on the source of the product. Now coming back to our discussion and talking from the perspective of India, we have seen that when it comes to the FTA with the mega regional blocs, India faces multiple dilemmas. The UK's experience with accession to CPTPP offers several lessons for India that India can incorporate. It is important, especially as the discussions about joining the large trade agreements like CPTPP and RCEP resurfaces when the Niti Aayog CEO suggested that India should be part of the large trade agreements such as RCEP and CPTPP. The benefits it offers includes, first, the integration into the global value chain (GVCs) that can enhance the supply chain participations and access to critical inputs for the domestic industries. Second, where India can leverage the China Plus One strategy, attracting the private investments from the countries seeking diversification apart from the China. The third, it includes the expanded export market for India's micro, small and medium enterprises (MSMEs), which accounts for roughly 40% of the country's exports that can further boost the economic growth. Fourth, the tariff reduction aligning India with ASEAN and other competitors could lead to the increased foreign direct investments and job creation. Further, strategically also, joining such agreements align with India's Act East policy and strengthen ties with the Indo-Pacific region. It also provides a platform to influence the regional trade policies on the topics like e-commerce, free movement of people, and trade liberalization. However, despite the multiple benefits it offers, there are certain challenges that persist. The trade imbalance is one such issue. The risk of increasing India's trade deficit with countries like China under RCEP and other Southeast Asian countries under CPTPP remains a significant concern. One such example is ASEAN's rise of trade deficit with China due to the FTA. We have seen that in the case of ASEAN, its trade deficit with China increased significantly from $81.7 billion in 2020 to $135.6 billion in 2023. Further, existing FTAs with 13 of the 15 RCEP and similar FTAs with CPTPP countries further minimizes the potential benefits. Also, stringent provisions including the investor-state dispute settlement clauses and binding investment protection diverges from the India's model bilateral investment treaty. Such agreements also put strain on the domestic industries that may face the competitions from the cheaper imports, threatening sectors such as agriculture and manufacturing. Regulatory constraints related to labor standards and also the environmental protection adds another layer of complexity to this. Now talking about the solutions to address these challenges, India must undertake a comprehensive cost-benefit analysis by engaging all the stakeholders across industries to evaluate the implications of joining CPTPP or RCEP. In this regard, prioritizing the sectors with the high export potential and strategic relevance is essential. Enhancing the trade competitiveness through addressing non-tariff barriers and diversifying the trade partnership is the crucial step. Further, strengthening the infrastructure for MSMEs to integrate into global value chains, and also continuing the dialogues with CPTPP members to negotiate the favorable terms for the entry are the necessary steps. Safeguarding the critical sectors such as agriculture, dairy, and manufacturing from the unfair competitions while aligning with the national goals like Atmanirbhar Bharat is imperative here. Ensuring a consistency with the vision of India as a global manufacturing hub and maintaining the strategic autonomy in the international trade agreements will guide India's approach. Finally, India's approach to the mega regional trade agreements must balance the economic aspirations with the domestic priorities. The UK's accession to CPTPP underscores the importance of the strategic trade partnership in a multipolar world. For India, integrating into such frameworks can drive growth, enhances global competitiveness, and align with the broader geopolitical objectives. However, this must be achieved through the pragmatic and the inclusive decision-making, ensuring that the benefits outweigh the challenges. By drawing insights from the global experiences, India can position itself as a pivotal player in the shaping of the future of international trade. The topic that we had discussed right now is particularly important from the UPSC examination as it encapsulates several key areas of the syllabus including international relations, economics, and the trade policy. It highlights the interplay between global trade agreements, national strategies, providing insights into India's Act East policy, trade deficits, and global value chains. Understanding these dynamics can enhance the aspirant's ability to address the questions on the topics like globalization, economic reforms, and the regional cooperation both in prelims as well as in the mains examination. Furthermore, it offers a practical case study for the essay writing and can serve as an example in the answers related to trade, diplomacy, and economic growth. So this is it for today's discussion. We will meet further for the discussion on such interesting topics. Thank you.